What's up, Blue Wallers? Oh!
That was probably loud as shit.
Yeah, we don't even know. We're so pissed. I am, at least. Episode 67 of the Blue Wall Podcast. This mic sounds hot.
I think mine is very hot as well.
Yeah, sorry everybody. We don't know what we're doing here. We had the worst
It was the worst today.
ever today. This was the worst. Yeah, we've had to restart a billion times.
I really haven't been doing anything but sitting here.
Yeah, try to get me to do more shit.
Yeah,
That's what he's been doing.
that's pretty true.
He's still doing nothing.
I'm not doing nothing. There we go. Now, I had to wait for the delay, man. I'm probably going to this is probably going to be loud. Nope, I got that set up good. All
Alright, so, Jesus, 67.
60.
Well,
episode 67.
Conveniently,
Kind
the
of.
time, the night of our worst technical problem, we were supposed to have our new tech guy that's going to be replacing Chubbs come in, and that didn't happen. Didn't happen yet.
Yeah, what's going on? Did he ever call you or anything?
No response, nothing.
It happens.
Fired.
It happens.
I fired Greg after the first day because I don't give a crap, man. This is my show.
It really is hard line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dude don't play around in the studio. He's like, oops, sorry. Sorry. I was doing other things to entertain myself while we were working out technical problems. All right. What are we going to talk about today, man?
I'm trying to get
Stuff going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to get something going on. I don't know what.
Hi.
And
we're just going to start talking about I can tell everybody about my rafting trip coming up.
All right.
Down to West Virginia, the New River. Man, we love it. We got these little cabins. I wish we could remember the name of those little cabins. We stay there every time. It's right there next to the river. You're probably 20 minutes from the put-in. They're secluded. They're right off the highway. People don't mess with you out there. They're cheap. They sleep like 8 people if you need them to.
Hey, is there another one of these TV trays? I thought I saw one. No?
I think they're... Yeah, right here.
I knew I saw one. Sorry to interrupt.
Nope, they're cheap. They're not fancy, so you really don't got to worry about... I mean, you don't go in there and destroy shit or anything like that, but it's got plywood walls, you know what I mean? The shit was done on the low.
Right.
But, yeah, it's perfect for us.
What's that mean, the low budget?
Yeah. Plywood and 2x4s, man. I'm sure they build them themselves. I bet you it costs... For this thing that sleeps 8 people, I bet they got less than 15, 20 grand in it, somewhere in between there.
Right. So, if you're tuning in and you're new on the Blue Wall, you need to go and start a free account, please, and you can go to the social stream and chat with us live or troll us. We have, we know you're out there watching.
We see that you're watching.
We see you watching us. We see you seeing us.
Some people are introverts, though, man. They don't like to. They don't like to troll. They don't like to talk.
Well, we're calling you out. Intros.
Some people don't like to give their opinion. I do. That's for sure.
Chubbs thinks he's a new troll he's trying his hand at trolling on the internet.
Just on Ustream mainly, and it's very funny. I'm actually pretty good at it.
Do you have a troll name?
No, Chubbs from Blue Wall.
Oh shit!
Because I don't care. I want him to come and do the same thing to me. For all I care. I don't think anybody's for the stuff that I do. I don't think anybody's coming to where I stay to shoot me or anything. Even though I do make fun of a lot of people, but a lot of DJs out there, you know what I mean? And that's all it's just the camera set up on them playing music. I don't even know how they get away with that. Didn't we get in trouble once for playing the intro music for like a little tiny bit too long?
It was somebody else's music. We played a whole song.
Yeah, well, people were
Hugo
on here,
and they cut us off.
People were on here DJing, playing everybody else's music.
Well, it's coming out through the air, like they're hearing it through a speaker. I think. Actually, I did it sort of like that. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know. It's a different way. Like if I have a radio playing right now, playing the song, like
In the
a
background.
CD or something, I think that's different.
That's in the air, man. That's just the ambiance.
Right?
You know?
I think
Sorry.
that's different. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway.
But I thought I found a loophole on that one time we did it. I was like, well, what if I just thought that it was different. I thought I was basically doing it that way, and it didn't, and they got us.
Well, it's funny to make fun of them dudes because I don't know.
That's what karaoke does.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's probably DJing, trolling other people.
That's true.
While
I don't
he's
know what's
DJing.
he play. I don't even know what he plays, man.
I don't
What's
know
he play?
either. I have no idea. I really don't know.
But
I don't
anyway,
have time to troll the trolls.
forget that, man. We're going rafting. A little bit of a smaller.
I mean, what
raft.
the hell was that? It sounded like a dryer was going off in the studio or something.
It's somebody's heat pump outside.
Okay,
Sure.
better have been.
You want me
Better
to
have
shut
been.
that window?
I know we're not in like around washers and dryers in
Yeah,
the
man.
studio.
Surely they know that we're in the studio.
Oh, the light's not on, I bet.
Oh, the light's not on. Fuck, we fucked up. Anyway, going rafting, can't wait. And then when I get back, I'll have less than a month until I'm out of here, man.
So,
So all this time, I've been the face of Blue Wall, and you've been the tech guy. And we thought we had the situation set up to where you were going to switch into my role.
yeah.
Big shoes to fill. I don't know. I'm just saying. I see you're making all kinds of faces over there.
I
at
know
me.
I can't do the beard. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Well, you got long hair. You're going full on hippie hardline.
Yeah, I guess.
But
Um,
and I don't know. He's a little iffy. You know what I mean?
oh, fuck,
If he's
man.
going to be here or not. Maybe this is him that just tuned in. Hey, if you just tuned in and you don't have a free account, go ahead and set one up. To the right of your screen, next to videos, is social stream. You can turn that on, and click on that button, and that way you can start throwing some comments if you catch me talking shit that I don't know about, or you want to make fun of Hardline.
Or give us a topic you wanted to
Give
discuss.
us a topic you want to discuss.
Speaking
We'll be
of
happy to do that.
topics,
One topic, if you want to start looking into it, civil forfeiture. We're going to be getting into that a little bit tonight. And that going along with that, I'm calling it right now. The Fed is starting a war on currency. You know, and by Fed I don't mean the federal government, I mean the Federal Reserve. They want to do away with currency.
they're scared of Bitcoin.
They're not scared of Bitcoin.
They're trying to get a one world money, is what they're gonna do. As soon as they do away with currency, that's one step closer to a one world money.
Yeah, you're a little bit right about that.
Like
I think.
Hardline can never be right about politics and money.
Well, I mean, you're a little bit right about that.
Chubbs
I didn't say you're a fool on right. Don't go getting ahead of yourself over there.
I'm on the path to enlightenment.
But it's ridiculous. So if you want to Google that a little bit and get prepared to have that conversation, go feel free to do it.
Feel free to, what is it called?
Civil forfeiture. Or I don't know exactly what the law is where the bank, it used to be if you get over $10,000 in cash out or write a check or do anything that costs $10,000 that they send a report to the Homeland Security. Now it's $5,000 and they want you to call the cops. They don't tell the bank that they have to call the cops on people, but they suggest if someone comes in and gets $5,000 in cash or even like $3,800 or $3,200 in cash to call the cops on them. Make a report with your local police department. Man, that is just nuts. You got citizens calling the cops on citizens for no reason. You know what I mean? That don't make sense.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to get into that a little bit more later. What was you talking about with topics?
Oh, well, how you almost got fired, pretty much, for making us look bad. Chubbs decided he's going to take on this project, get his publicity and shit.
It was
and
bad timing,
apparently bit off more than he can chew,
It's
and
true.
then made us look like fucking idiots.
Hardline,
we
before you
couldn't-
go any further, let me tell you, my plan was to say that we were going to do it and then just have you do most of it.
Exactly, I know,
That was
exactly.
the plan.
And then I had to deal with all the fucking video shit
Yeah.
on your project that I shouldn't have had to deal with.
It was for The show, though, it was for not just for me. It was for Blue Wall.
Well, I didn't know that I was gonna have to do
But anyway.
work involved in your project.
Get to
for
the
it.
part where I look like an idiot.
And
again.
then the guy, like, this was last week. I had to do the work to get the guy the fucking video for Chubb's project. And then the guy was like, oh, okay, I got it. And now I just need a little blurb to tell us about your show, a little bit about you guys and what we want to say. And then, hey guys, this is like a few days later. Hey guys, I need that blurb.
I totally
Here,
didn't
real
do
quick.
it all week
And then
long.
like
I
a few
totally
days
didn't do it.
later, hey guys, I really need this.
I'm doing this
And then
tonight.
he's like, hey Chubbs. No, he's like, hey, he called you your real name.
Yeah, he called me my government. He
Yes.
called my government. He's like, hey, I'm working on that tonight. You know what I mean? Can I have
I
that?
need this now. And I'm like, I wanted, I don't know the guy though, and I don't know if what kind of guy, but I was going to just drop some, I was going to go off on there like, damn it, Chubbs, like, quit, like, I don't know, I had some ideas.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to put on his message or anything.
Well,
But I'm like, God, Chubbs, now we look like fucking rednecks from Appalachia.
listen.
And then, yeah, tell him about your blurb. That was supposed to be something he could read.
What he wanted for, but he didn't ask specifically for, is something written that he could read at the end of the podcast to promote us and a connecting website. But when he said blurb, a blurb to me is spoken. So I made like this whole recording and I packaged it up and I emailed it to him. And he's like, dude, I wanted something written down so I could read it at the end of my podcast. And I was like, okay, well, what I was going to type back, I was like, well, try this one for size. 2 clowns missing from circus in Ohio. Stop. Oftentimes they talk shit about things they don't know. Stop. You know what I mean? I was going to make up some big long thing. But he seemed cool enough, man.
Man, so like, you should have been like, well then put on your Dragon Text app and let it type it out. You got the words, just type it out.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, I don't got time to type.
Man, I can't.
It would take me a week to type out what I just said.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't type very
you're not.
slow.
They're bothering you because you're not Hollywood. If you're
exactly,
Hollywood,
man.
you can wear your.
I've had them on all day. They're digging into my forehead. I don't even know why I'm wearing them in the house.
So we got that taken care of. Apparently, we're going to be shouted out on something
Tomorrow.
that I don't even know.
No, the Stuff Files. Peter Anthony Holder. He's from up in Montreal.
Canada.
Yeah, another Canadian.
Boy, they play hockey and do podcasts in Canada.
Yeah,
And
lots of both of them. Yeah, and I hear they grow marijuana also up there, is what I've heard. But he does, dude. He's got a quality show, man. Like, it's very well produced. But I think during the day he works for a news station, and this is his side project, his podcast, The Stuff Files, STUPH.
Right.
I don't know if you get that. Not STUFF.
Huff.
And I thought it was called the Stoop Files forever because I just, whatever, I'm not very smart. So I was like, the Stoop Files, huh? That's pretty cool. And then I was like, wait a minute, the Stuff Files. I listened to one of them and I heard him says, anyway.
I wonder if...
It's quality, man. I like it.
I wonder if Blue Wall Fan is trying to troll us. Or...
If they are, they're not saying nothing.
Marlena24 said she would maybe troll. One of them are out there.
One of them are out there. It might be Case at the theater, too. Yeah. A lot of times he'll tune it in and just let it play while he's doing his stuff.
Why isn't he playing it on, like, hey, Theater 9 Blue Wall Podcast right now?
I think they have an issue with, making money.
Yeah.
Over
hey,
just
people
doing
paid to
something
get in there.
cool for us.
Hey, $2. You can come watch. That's
it is. Yeah. It's the movie theater troll.
Yeah.
Project Badass. Has anyone seen? Have you heard anything good about Get Hard yet? No gay jokes and no inappropriate jokes, please. The movie Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell, because I think I'm going to see it.
What was that? Oh, okay. It was really good.
Well, I mean, give him a minute. There's a 15-second delay.
I know.
Damn it. And now I just went to advertisement. I bet he was on an ad and he didn't hear a word I said.
Looks terrible.
But it looks terrible. No, great. Thanks. Fucking Dream Slayer over here. Well, I can't fault him for an honest opinion. He knows his movies. Case is going to actually be the captain on this voyage unless he lets Greg lead us down again. But
What happened last time when Greg led you down?
no, he did a pretty good job. I did know I was in the front, so I don't know what's going on
Maybe
behind
he
me.
showed up.
He showed up. He actually did show up. Probably late, I'm sure. But I heard Case had to bark out a couple orders every once in a while. But for most general, you know.
To get the shit right.
Yeah, he did it. He did it all. He did
Turn
it
around
himself.
here, guys.
He must have went to commercial.
Left side paddle. Hard.
Damn it. My shit tried to turn off on me. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. Hey, that's the only orders I want. Don't get too crazy. Just whenever you need some right paddle, just tell me when to right paddle, which I'm going to have to do right paddle. I was moving them weights today. I did something to like my rhomboid or a little bit of my, maybe my trap, my trapezius, or one of those small muscles in between my shoulder blades. And it hurts.
So you haven't figured out yet the best way to
Okay.
give yourself a massage?
Captain Casey. Well, you know the thing that you use?
The
That's-
roller?
Yeah, that's one of the best things I've ever had, man. Honestly. Like for my back, what I'll do is I'll take a racket ball or a tennis ball and I'll lay on the ground and just
Yeah.
like rub it around because
Yeah,
it's a little more focused.
Yeah.
Racquetball works good. But anyway, it looks like Captain Casey's going to be taking control of the...
Ayo Silver.
Nah, that's Hi-Ho Silver.
Oh.
I think pirates are more...
And that was totally a cowboy.
yeah, that's
reference.
totally the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, but I was just like, giddy up, let's get it.
I
Let's
think you're looking for something called Arrgh.
Ahoy!
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking for. Ahoy, matey.
yeah. Or Arrgh. It kind of sounds like...
Arr.
Oh!
You got it. Arr.
No,
It's arr.
that sounds like a captain. He thinks he's way too cool.
Arr, we going on. Arr, let's board the vessel, mateys.
Man, I gave everybody time to look it up, so I'm just going to go into it. Man, I cannot get over this civil forfeiture law that they enacted probably about 5 years ago, I think. Or actually probably as soon as Homeland Security came online and really started. They do it for, like, what they claim is the reason for doing it, which I'm sure it helps out with this too, is drugs. They want to take drug money, like, immediately. You know? So, yeah, I'm sure they do get drug money off the streets immediately, people. But what you got to understand is there's no accountability. The money doesn't come in and go out to the federal government or go to charity. The money comes in and it stays right there. So they spend it how they want. I shared something on my personal page, and the police station bought a margarita machine with the money for their annual parties. You know what I mean? It's being abused. And if you didn't think it was going to be abused, you're a fool, because it's even worse than tickets. Whenever you put somebody in control over how much money they make, of course they're going to abuse it. Why wouldn't they? You know? You think there's something special? Just because they're police officers doesn't make them have any different tendencies than regular people. You know,
Right.
greed, lust, these things affect police officers just like they affect anyone.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's even there's less accountability, because at least with traffic violations, I get to go before a judge if I want to. You know what I mean? He may charge me court costs, but if he thinks that it is not reasonable to be there, like if the deputy did something wrong, like in my case, which I'm going to be going down next weekend to fight, actually next Wednesday, but I'll be down there during the weekend.
So you're not going to be here next Sunday?
No, I will not be here next Sunday. I will.
It's Easter anyhow.
It is Easter, so we probably won't even podcast.
Well, at night, I'm done with my Easter.
Well,
I might. I don't know. If you're not here, I might have to figure it out, though.
yeah, you might have to make sure Aaron
Yeah.
shows up next
For
time.
sure.
Shit. You might
I'll
have to go
sit
hold
here.
his hand into the car.
I might.
But
I
anyway,
hope he's watching. so he gets those directions.
So they get this money, and that's it. They just keep it. They say it's going to be like the federal government versus $328,000 or dollars, however much money it gets taken from you, or a house. They take houses, they take cars, they take whatever they want, man.
It's bought with drugs, though.
So when you pair up civil forfeiture with the fact that it used to be over $10,000 if you take money out of the bank totaling $10,000 or write a check or anything, they have to send a little report to Homeland Security. So it's on record. But now it's $5,000, and if it's $5,000, and also they want the bank tellers to call the local police on you. They're trying to make, this is what they always do. They use citizens to keep citizens in check. That's the thing. If you believe in an Illuminati or whatever, Illuminati doesn't control everybody. They just give the appearance of what's normal, and then your neighbors will keep you in check. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not normal now. Why do you want that much cash? You know, I can think of 1,000 reasons to have some cash on you. But what they want you to think is, oh, that's wrong. You got to be doing something bad if you have that much money. Why wouldn't you just write a check for it? Why wouldn't you just use your credit card? Why wouldn't you just use all these other...
Well, if you're buying a used car off of someone...
Well, they don't want you to think like that,
They write
kids.
a check, and then who's going to take a $10,000 check from someone you don't know?
Exactly,
you know
nobody.
what I mean?
But they want you to think it is wrong to have cash. So now when someone sees somebody out with cash, they're going to be like, "Oh, why are you doing that? I have to call the cops on you now." They want to make it seem normal. So when you do it, or abnormal, so when you do it, it causes concern.
$5,000, that ain't shit. Like, $10,000, I could understand a little bit. Like, yeah, you want to maybe be a little concerned, but it's not that big a deal, I didn't think.
Yeah, they're going about their business as usual. Project Badass brings up a good point. Old timers keep their loot in their mattress, going about business as usual. But if they ever get caught driving with that money, that's where it comes into play. Right
now, they
now,
can just take your money because you have a lot of cash on you.
What they're doing is they're going beyond the suspected drug dealers, and they're just taking the money because they know to get a lawyer. Say they just take $2,800 from you or $1,500. By the time you get a lawyer, go back to whatever state you were traveling
to. Police.
Yeah, take time off work and fight them. You're going to be out about the same amount of money. So they've calculated it out to the dollar amount where people are just going to say forget about it. You know what I mean? So they get to keep it, and then at the end of the year they spend it on whatever they want. That doesn't matter. It doesn't have to go towards training. It doesn't have to go towards hiring new officers. It doesn't have to go towards uniforms. It can go to literally whatever they want. A margarita machine. You know, they wanted a margarita machine, so they bought a margarita machine with the money that they stole from people, essentially.
Yeah, that's where the problem is. It's not only drug dealers that have cash.
There's no accountability.
There are some people that like to go to flea markets with $2,000 or $3,000 in their pocket.
Why not? A welder. There's things that literally cost that much. You know, tractor tires, a welder, nice compressor.
And sometimes you don't know. Like, there's some people that like to have that because they are a wheeler dealer type person. They want
to buy something on the spot. They come across a deal.
And if they don't have the cash for that deal, they missed out. And they like to have that preparedness in their pocket.
Dave Ramsey wouldn't stand for this. I know, because Dave Ramsey's a cash guy. So what we're doing is we're teaming up civil forfeiture with they don't want you to take cash out of the bank anymore. They want to report it as soon as it happens. And what you have is a war on currency. Fake money is no longer good enough. Paper is getting too expensive to print. They don't even want to print out paper anymore. That has nothing to back it. That's
go back to the printing it on hemp like they used to.
No, that's too expensive.
Well,
man.
It's not really paper anyhow.
I know, it's blue jeans. So it's a war on currency. They want to do away with all currency. They want everyone to have a credit card, a name, and a number, and that's what you use.
And then they're going to want to put it into your hand so that you all have the credit card and you can't lose it.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, that's the mark of the beast.
There's definitely would be monitoring and tracking that, I'm sure of it. And they're going to do it all in the guise of security, man. They're going to say, oh, it's safer. You can't lose it. People can't steal it. It's always on you. You never have to forget it at home. This, that, and the other. And everyone, the people are going to be begging for it. You know what I mean? People are begging for it right now. Please close our borders down. Please, you got to keep us safe, man. That's bullshit. You're not going to be any safer with people in authority having guns, having you locked up, than you are with private citizens having guns. You know what I mean? You're going to be in a less of a position to be safe because you're not going to be able to defend yourself. You know? It scares me. You know what I mean? I hate to say this because I do know law enforcement, and I know a lot of them are good guys that got into it for the right reasons, but when you approach my car and you have me pulled over, all you are to me is a stranger with a gun and authority to wield it. Yeah. More authority than I have to wield one. Right. And that's scary.
We had a nice Wu-Tang reference.
I see that.
Cream with the money. $1 bill, y'all.
So...
That is true.
A lot of people don't think about it like that, but it's a fact. Police officers have murdered people. There's been serial killers that have been law enforcement. You know what I mean? So I don't feel safe. That's not the first person that I want to call when I have trouble. Honestly, if I can't handle it myself, I don't.
That's their choice.
I don't necessarily.
Who are you gonna call then?
And I would really just like to handle the situation myself.
So you want to just
hold on 1 second? Let me do something. Hey, what's up? Someone else just tuned in. If you don't have a account to get on the social stream, go ahead and make a free account. And to the right of the screen, next to videos, there's social stream. Click on that. That way you can troll along with Project Badass. Actually, he's not really doing a very good job trolling. He's just joining in the conversation.
Well, that's what he should be doing.
That's true.
God, it just slay people's.
So,
everything.
If you just tuned in and you're interested, what I was talking about is how I hate feeling like this. But, you know, when a police officer or a highway patrolman or a sheriff approaches my car after I've been pulled over, to me, he is a stranger with a gun. That is going to, if I've done something wrong and he seems to be cool enough, that's fine. But that situation down in Florida, from what I learned from that is, you know, some people are really quick to abuse their authority and take advantage of it. And I said it like this, you know, when you take your oath and you get that star or that badge and you get the authority that comes along with it, it's a shield. It's supposed to be wielded as a shield to protect people. And instead, you know, they're using it like a sword to poke out and slash at people and hurt people for no reason. But I will always record every intervention I have with law enforcement now, if at all possible. I don't care if it's just voice recording. I don't care if it's video. But how handy that would be for me. Oh, hey, somebody else just tuned in too. Get your free account to the right of the screen. Click on social stream. That way you can join in the conversation. So, where was I at? Always record your interactions with law enforcement. If they do a good job, great. It's an example of how a police officer should be.
Share that example.
Exactly. You don't have to just share your bad interactions. If I can share that interaction with the guy from Alabama, the highway patrolman who gave me that ticket, class act, man. He didn't try to give me a hard time. He didn't wagging his finger. He's like, hey, man, I can't let you was doing 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. I can't let you go with a warning. I'm just going to... It took less than 10 minutes. I gave him 7... I counted 7 yes, sirs I gave him.
You and I counted him. He's like, what?
Yeah, yes, sir. He's like, you're speeding. I said, yes, sir. He said, you know, it's 25 miles an hour of the speed limit. I can't give you a warning on that.
You're lucky you didn't get reckless high.
I know. I was right that close. I said, yes, sir.
In that state, is it that close, or is it...
I think it is.
Oh, I thought it was like 20 miles. Is right.
No. Well, the ticket was over $200. I was like $230-some, so it might have been. And he said, do you have your information? I said, yes, sir. He gave me the ticket back. He said, here's your ticket. I said, yes, sir. He said, Mr. Deacon, the beach is going to wait for you. Just please slow it down. I said, yes, sir. And that was it. You know what I mean? That was exactly how that should have went.
That beach ain't going nowhere.
The beach ain't going nowhere, Mr. Deacon. Slow it down. But I swear, as soon as stuff get taken care of with my Gramps estate and the car gets titled over to me, I'm installing a dash cam, a rear and a front dash cam. Believe that shit. I don't care if it costs me $500. I'm going to go put it in, and I'm always going to be protected from now on. Because that video of that guy saying, what are your lights flashing? Because I know when we go to court, if he shows up at all, he's not going to tell the story how it happened. He's going to tell it whatever way makes it look like he did the right thing. And if I just had that, even just the 5 minutes of audio where he came up to my car and said, I noticed your lights were flashing. What's that all about? I told him truthfully what I was doing, and he tells me it's illegal in the state of Florida to do that, and then I find out it's protected. You know, there's actually a law protecting me from him giving me a ticket for that. Oh, they would have, he'd be, and what I get, he signed his name on that citation that goes in front of a judge, so he lied to a judge. He not only
and then
did
he
lie
also
to me,
said that you were using your bright lights, which were
on the ticket, he said,
which it's daylight anyhow.
yeah, it's 5:40. He wouldn't even have been able to tell, but he said failure to dim bright lights, which would suggest that I left my bright lights on, and I didn't.
So do you think that, this is back on the money subject, do you think that this federal thing that they're doing will help Bitcoin?
No. I think they're trying to stomp out Bitcoin in America, so I think eventually it's going to be illegal for anyone in America to do business with Bitcoin.
So they're going to basically do what Bitcoin is, but with the Federal Reserve.
Exactly. With the
they're
federal,
like, oh, that Bitcoin shit's
except
pretty cool.
for they're not going to do what Bitcoin is, which is secret, not secret, but what's the word on private? You know what I mean? No one knows where you got that money from. It's just in your account.
Right.
Now,
so
what they're going to do is track every piece of spending that way, and the government's going to love it because of taxes.
That's the New World Order starting.
The government is going to absolutely love this idea because they're going to squeeze a little more blood out of that turnip, and it's going to be our blood, citizen blood, and get more tax money.
It's pretty messed up that you work for money, you
and it
get
gets
taxed for
before it ever gets
and
to
then
you.
it goes to a private place. That taxes you.
Well, it doesn't exactly go straight to the Fed, but the government owes the Fed, which they're promising us as collateral. We are the collateral for the federal debt. That debt that keeps racking up, that's you, and you're actually, it's not you because you'll be dead. Your kids shit's gonna hit the fan for probably your grandkids, and people don't even care. You know, people sacrifice so much for their kids, but they can't. I don't understand how they can't see that you're making life worse for your kids by inflating your money. You know, your money's not worth shit now, obviously. Not like it used to be. It's just like, in the 70s, the minimum wage in the 70s and 80s was like, what, $2? Something like that? And that was enough to do things. You know, you could still, pay your rent and do things, only making like $2.50 an hour. Inflation's just out of control, man. It's ruining our country, pretty much. But do you ever think this is some old conspiracy shit that probably is, people are going to be like, wow, what a nut job. I think what they're doing is they're going to wait until they have the technology to cleanse Africa, just basically kill people, and it's like still kind of like virgin land over there. They don't have the pollution, they don't have the dumps, even though there is pollution and some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But they're gonna wait till the technology is good with solar and wind and geothermal. You know what I mean? They're gonna wait till the clean technology is available and abundant, and they're just gonna say, F China, F America, F Russia and Europe. Go to Africa, make a clean nation, put a fence around the whole thing, and that's where the elites are going to live with the servitude. You know what I mean? They're going to only let the lower classes in to be servants, and they're going to think, man, I can't wait to get in there because it's clean. I'm going to have a great life being a slave in Africa, and we're going to be a third world country.
Do you think that's what they're going to do, or are they going to do those floating countries?
Nah, man, why? When you have this awesome, there's still a tiny bit of rainforest left, so you have resources like that. There's lots of clean water in Africa, lots of land, and a very...
Why does there always seem to be a problem like we need clean water in Africa? Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I wanted to read this. You can always exercise your Fifth Amendment, but they won't like that. Yeah, they're damn right they don't like that. They also don't like whenever you tell them it's your First Amendment right, and then they go to their car and find out you were right. That's the exact reason why they changed the law, because it's against they're violating my First Amendment because I can communicate with the cars on the road. So he's looking through his book for 15 minutes trying to find something he can get me on.
Get it for some bright lights.
Exactly.
Bright lights.
I guarantee you that other deputy showed up. I seen this dude. He was looking through this black spiral book. And he was like, kept looking.
We'll find something.
And he's like, man, I'm going to find something to give this.
Exactly.
And I was yes sir, no sir to him too. I never disrespected him or said anything out of the way. I just said, he said it's illegal in the state of Florida to signal with your headlights. I said, sir, I think it's my First Amendment right to communicate with the other cars on the highway. And I seen his demeanor change. He stood straight up. He started talking with his hands more. And, you know what I mean? So I was like, at this point,
defensive.
exactly. At this point, I wasn't. He explained to me the role of a servant who works for the state, which would be him, and state laws trump federal laws until the law gets changed anyway. But yeah, so he doesn't like that either. But you're absolutely right, man. I've always thought about just like, yeah, sir, I don't answer questions. I've seen people do that on YouTube. Here's my ID, here's my insurance. Hey, how you doing tonight, sir? I don't answer questions. What do you mean you don't answer, sir? I don't answer questions.
Well, you can't say that off the bat. You can say I'm doing fine first, because that sounds real defensive.
I know, it does. But some people do that. Yeah. And they're just like, they want to be
anything. Like, what? Oh, I'll get you to answer some questions. And then they'll probably say, you have to. It's the law. If I ask you a question, you have to answer.
That's not true, but you do have to comply, because a lot of people don't know this, but whenever you get that driver's license, you waive some of your constitutional rights, and it says right there, it's like you will follow all lawful orders by highway patrol, any type of law enforcement. So they can tell you to get out of their car. They might not be able to legally search it unless they get a dog there, and I think that's a joke too, because all they got to do is tap where they want them to hit, and they'll do it. They've been trained to do that. But they can tow your car, and they can take you to jail, and they can take you down to the station, or maybe just, I'm sure they can't just leave you there unless you ask them to, but there's certain rights that you give up whenever you get that license and you get on that highway. I think it's a joke. I don't think they should be able to do that, but it's all in the guise of safety. Everything is safety. They want you to be safe, and everyone's always screaming for it. Yeah, give tickets for seatbelts because we want people to be safe. You know what I mean? That's just a money scheme. That's a get you pulled over scheme. They want to get you pulled over so they can see what you're doing.
Right.
That's the only reason we have seatbelt laws.
Exactly. That's true. That is exactly true.
Is this name Strider?
Strider.
Oh, is that Strider from the gym?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Right.
I'm guessing that is.
But anyway,
don't call people out. Man.
I'm sorry, man. I used his government. Oh man, jeez, my bad, dude. I'm sorry about that.
Jeez.
I did the same thing.
Is that guy that lives over on 233 4th Street?
I'm a rookie here or something. I'm sorry.
The brown house with the white shutters.
I hate when people do it to me, and here I am just hypocrite.
Names. Well, they're just trying to get more control over us, and they try to use the media to put more fear into us to give them that control and give up our rights so that they just can do all that stuff.
Oh man,
Do you think it's wrong for the government to know what we're doing with our cash? No, actually, we shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't need to have cash. We should be able to still use gold if we wanted to barter just with somebody.
Yeah. Except for that's totally illegal. There's a law that says you can't buy things with gold. You can
see that's crazy.
You can if you go into a pawn shop, you can sell gold, get cash, and then buy something else. But you can't trade gold. Yeah, because they'll call that another form of currency.
And you can't have you have to have a currency that they say you have to have.
Hey man. The glorified tax collectors. It's not glorified tax collectors. What they're doing is they're collecting their own revenue. It's even worse than tax collectors. Because what they're doing is getting money for their station. So they can have nice equipment, have nice lunches paid for by the taxpayers, go on to conferences. Things like that, man. I don't know. It's just a very easily abused system. It's a bad system. There's no accountability, and people are really starting to abuse it now. Before it's been kind of in check. They're not getting too crazy with it, but look at New York City, man. That place is, you're not anywhere where you can't get a 2-liter with your pizza. You can't order a 2-liter with your pizza. I mean, what are you doing living there?
That's
There's
illegal?
No way. It's illegal.
That's ridiculous.
That is
What do
ridiculous.
they think? Like, is it downtown? They think you're gonna throw it off of the roof and kill someone with
Sugar.
it? Or what?
People are getting fat from
Well,
eating
good.
pizza and drinking sugar.
Well, good.
No, not good. If you want to, here's the thing.
It's
if you
just
wanna,
like a drug. If you should have the right to kill yourself if you want.
Exactly.
It's
But what
a
you shouldn't
victimless
have the right
crime.
to do is be on Social Security because you're morbidly obese.
I can't wait to see the first person who gets put in jail because they went down the park and chugged a 2-liter in public.
Well, they won't get. It's like they give you a traffic ticket. You know, it's
Oh.
that. It's kind. It's a.
What if it's like 3 strikes and you had your third 2-liter
well,
today?
I was watching today. John Oliver, he does a great show, man. I think you know who that is. He used to be on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He's on HBO now.
I'm not familiar.
It's called Last Week Tonight, and he is. I honestly, from what I've seen like 10 of his videos. It's about 17 minutes long. He's 10 times better than Jon Stewart, man. Jon Stewart's a little too liberal for me. This dude is. He does things right in the middle that Republicans and Democrats should hate. You know what I mean?
Jon Stewart does, though. He does that.
He's very
Republican?
No, he's a Democrat. He's liberal, dude. He's super liberal. Just let them protect us from us. Exactly. You can't make laws to protect people from themselves. That's where we go wrong in this country. Everything was fine until you started making laws that try to protect people from themselves.
Yeah.
You know you have you can just eat yourself until you're morbidly obese and then get Social Security. Yes.
You can do that?
Oh, dude, I worked at the Golden Corral. People are on their scooters. Not that if there's a serious problem, you have some type of thyroid problem, you know what I mean? But you should not be able to get Social Security because you're morbidly obese.
Very true. If that's the case,
Someone
should be able to get it for being extremely healthy.
Yeah. Or they should be able to force you to not eat, put you in a jail until you lose weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
If you want that check, that's
Look
what you
your
got to
ass
do to
up.
get it.
You're going to lose some weight.
He's not better than John. To hell you say.
I agree.
Marlena 24, he is so much better than Jon
I
Stewart.
definitely agree with that.
You just YouTube his videos and the topics that he's talking about and the things he brings up is 10 times, because it's very right in the middle where everyone should hate these things. Jon Stewart leans a lot liberal. I tell you what I didn't care for though. Who was the black guy on the show that's got his own show now? Took the place basically of Jon Stewart. It's called something. It's not very good though. It's not.
The black guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's funny. He was funny on the Daily Show. I always thought he was pretty funny, but he just doesn't have it on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he has the support that the Daily Show had either. The Daily Show had all these people.
Hey, I feel like we're getting some feedback, and I think it sounds like something's plugged into the circuit we're plugged into, and it's like a.
Is that bothering anybody else out there? Do you hear some feedback? Is the sound messing with us?
You know, do you think that someone upstairs plugged a fan into the same circuit that we're on, and it's.
That vibrating?
Yeah.
I hear the vibrating.
It sounds new. I don't think I heard that before.
It might be the heater next door or in the other studio.
Oh, in Studio C.
Studio C,
These
yeah.
fuckers always giving us problems down in Studio C.
John's my boy, Blue. Yeah, he's alright. I mean, it's better. Honestly, I think he brings you more credible news than Fox or MSN or CBS or any of the other news stations. And it's much more entertaining.
I do believe that it is more informational and real.
Listen, if you want to get if you want to get the real skinny on what's going on in the world today, you'll hit my boy up, George.
You're too far from your mic, Chubbs.
You hit my boy up, George Norrie at Coast to Coast AM. comes on about 1:30 in the morning, lasts till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the dude will
That's
talk
a good
about
one.
the dude will talk about whatever you call in, man. And there's always some really good ghost stories or Sam Squatch stories,
Sam Squanch.
Loch Ness monster stories, aliens, conspiracies. Coast to Coast AM, man. That's the real deal. If you want to. You're gross.
Yeah, it's vibrating.
You are gross.
I knew. Hey, it stopped. When you got called out on it, it stopped. All of a sudden, it was like as soon as that came up,
yoink.
silence.
Vice what? I don't understand the.
Vice. You don't know who Vice is? They're like the information.
I've never heard of them.
You don't follow Vice on Twitter?
I see. Listen, if somebody looks at my Twitter account, what they're going to find is...
Blue Wall.
No, they're going to find...
Young
Listia.
Turks, that's a good one.
They're going to find, Listia selling this item. Or, you know what I mean? It's going to be the dumbest shit. I did it so I could get free stuff off of another thing. Who are the Young Turks?
They're, just like information. They're getting the real news.
Okay, well, I will look up Vice.
There's this
and
chick that
Young
was on
Turks.
Joe Rogan that was part of the Young Turks, and I can't remember her name, so I feel bad. And I'm busy talking on a podcast, too busy to Google search Young Turks.
If we had a third person
I know,
that
right?
was helping us out with production,
That's the story of our life.
oh man, it'd be a lot simpler. Okay, yeah, but anyway, that's where I get my real information from. You can't trust the news, and it all that. Okay, I gotta get off that. I'm trying to concentrate. It all goes back to the theory of how the quote unquote world government or quote unquote Illuminati or quote unquote World Bank, they don't control you individually. What they do is they make certain things seem normal by the news and other media outlets, and the things that they don't like, dissension, protesting, they make that seem abnormal. So we keep ourselves in check. You know, we have our own circles that we stay in, and whenever someone drops out of line from that or drops out of that circle, the citizens, they beat each other back into the circle.
All right, I got it pulled up. The Young Turks.
Gosh, how do you guys are gross. I don't even know how you know about all this stuff.
All right, I'm going to read this off here. The Young Turks is an online liberal, progressive, political, and social.
Oh, great, liberals!
commentary
I already know I hate
program
this.
hosted primarily by Uyghur.
I bet they voted for Obama.
The show has an associated network of online shows and is owned. Oh, that's right. They got a YouTube thing, I think, and is owned by a company of the same name, the Young Turks LLC. The Young Turks was founded in 2002 by Uyghur as a talk show on Sirius Satellite Radio. The Young Turks claim to be the world's largest online news show. YouTube video views for the Young Turks network stood at a total of 2 billion as of July.
That's a
2014.
moneymaker right there.
The show offers internet-only video content via their YouTube channel, which in April 2012 averaged 750,000 views a day. And by November
I'm going to tell you right now.
2014, over 1.4 million views a day.
Listen.
Hold on, I'm almost done. The Young Turks
can't
also
help
have
it.
a network of other affiliated shows on separate YouTube channels known collectively as the Young Turk Network. All right, go ahead.
They're all about making money, man. They're not informational people. I wouldn't trust them. When you add super large amounts of
True.
money into the issues, it's just like global warming. Yes, is the environment warming up a little bit? Yes. If you was going by Al Gore's standards, whenever he first brought it up, we should have no polar ice caps. And yet last year we added ice to the polar ice caps. They found out that the ocean does absorb a lot more heat than we originally thought. You understand? The only scientists that are promoting global warming are the young ones who need to make the money. And where's the money at? people who support global warming. That's where the money's at. There's no money in people who say, well, I did the research too, and actually it's not going to affect us the way you think. We've always had crazy storms. You know, we've always had earthquakes. We've always had volcanoes. We've always had typhoons. We've always had these bad things.
We've just not always had the technology to hear about them the split second that they happen.
Yes, we are changing the environment. It is, and we probably are heating it up in a minute amount. But you get one huge volcano goes off, you're going to see a lot worse damage done to the earth than all of our years of
life. All of our years of life.
All of our years of technology and what we've been doing. And honestly, like I've talked about on other podcasts, we're going to grow to a point where we're just going to clean up our own stuff. We're going to have technology that scrubs the air, that's filtering little of the tiny molecules of plastic out of the ocean. They're going to be digging up these old garbage dumps and trying to get to all that material that we have buried. It's going to be, you're going to have a gold mine. It'd be like the new gold mines.
What the hell? Yeah, if they like figure out a way, like you just put a bunch of old empty water bottles in your car and that processes it and burns it down and into fuel, and like that's so people like you said are gonna be gold mining for plastic.
Have you ever seen Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
No, it might have been at the end of Part 1, where he comes back and he's got the thing that makes.
He did throw a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, he threw a banana peel, a can, and a plastic cup, and he's like, roads? We don't need roads. You know what I mean? It's going to be probably.
Man, we need to watch that movie sometime. That's been it's like been past the time where they call, like it was like 2015 was the year I think that they said.
Where's my hoverboard? I don't know if it is exactly, but yeah, you're right.
It seems.
What scientists should say is they don't know. They have no idea what's going to happen. They can suggest that it's going to happen, but they shouldn't be scaring everybody. Like, they're out there trying to scare people, and people are so gullible because, you know what I mean, these liberals say it, you know what I mean, or these people who have been paid to do studies that, you know, are not contrary to what people are saying say it, so we have to believe it.
Right.
Who cares if the ice caps melt? That's more resources we can get. Who cares if we lose
Who cares?
Florida
We'll have more water
ocean?
and less land.
Yeah, more fresh water coming down. Less land. Who cares? We'll be living on boats.
We'll go on a mountain.
We lose Florida. What? Yeah, but also people aren't living up in those northern areas where it's too cold. If it warms up a little bit, people would be happy to move north. You know what I mean? And take over, dig out those resources that we can't get to now because they're frozen under tundra. But Russia is going to become a superpower again because the Siberia. You know how many resources are in Siberia? They just can't get to it because
of the ice.
Because of the ice and the harsh climate, they can't get to it. One day people are going to look back at this and either say, man, he was a genius, or what kind of a clown? Look at this clown. Listen to what he's saying.
Look at that idiot. He thought there were resources in Siberia.
Digging up garbage dumps. Yeah, right. We live in a garbage dump. Yeah, I believe they are trying to distract us from their true agenda, which who knows what that is. Good.
It's just to have a complete control of those puppet strings on us.
I've heard so many conspiracy theories about things that my brain is mush. The one that I think is the funniest and the best, you know, they want to, what's the word? I can't remember the exact word, but they want to change people genetically and be they want to dumb people down so that they don't mind just being slaves, basically, and eventually get to the point, eugenics. I think that's what it's called, eugenics.
Yeah, but that would backfire on the people that are trying to dumb people down, and eventually would spread into everybody.
But what it all culminated to is they want to live in space, either on a spaceship that is going near the speed of light, so they can
and then have some dumb slaves.
Well, they want to go near the speed of light so time passes slower for them, so they can kind of live. They want to live forever, you know, basically what it is. So they'll get on that spaceship and time will pass slower for them, but they have people working. Technology is advancing. That way they can cure their diseases, you know. Same thing that people have been looking for forever, a cure for death with GMO foods. Idiocracy was a documentary from the future. I have thought that many times, but I hope it never gets like that. As regards to GMO foods, oh man, I've read a lot about GMO foods. Some of it is scary. I think what is more scary than anything is you can't sue Monsanto if one of their products is found to give people cancer. You're not allowed to sue them because
But they could sue you if their seed blew over into your field
yeah,
and started growing.
yeah, absolutely. So that is kind of scary that a corporation could have a law in place that says, hey, you can't sue us no matter what we do. Sorry. But you got to think things like penicillin. Not penicillin. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. It's happening. No, insulin. Almost 90% of insulin is produced through GMO, like you know what I mean, at a very small bacterial level, but it's still the same technology. You know, we're growing plants in places where we couldn't over in Africa and some of the deserty, more drier, arid regions. We're growing corn and wheat that normally wouldn't be able to survive in those countries. I mean, that's kind of a good thing, you know, even though they're strict and if you get caught stealing it over there or trying to keep some seeds or whatever, I mean, you go to like prison. It's like big. If you think the laws are bad in America about GMOs, over in these poorer countries where basically you can come in and wave your money around and the government does exactly what you want with no regulation.
Yeah, by the way, your idea has already been done by the Anunnaki, if you didn't know that.
What idea?
That we are the slaves already. We are the dumbed down version.
Well, help me out
of
here.
the Anunnaki.
Who's the Anunnaki?
They're from Nibiru, the 10th planet.
Are you? Hold on a second. Are you talking about Scientology?
No, they're the Anunnaki. The probably built the pyramids.
Are they on a really extended orbit? So
yes.
They're out in deep space now and they're coming back around. I think I may have glanced at something about this.
In Nibiru, the 10th planet. Nibiru.
So basically, this is set in
They're giants.
Stargate type of world where they seeded planets with humans.
No, it's our type of world. Our world.
I know what you're trying to relate to me here, but yeah, man, I don't know. Could there be aliens? Yeah, there's a lot of planets out there.
There's a lot of planets. Nibiru's on a.
We have a money problem. We don't have a money problem. We have a people controlling us problem.
We have a food and money problem combined.
Ain't nobody starving in America unless you're trying to.
No, but they're getting fat as shit, man.
I just think that, gosh, I don't know, maybe they do have crazy advanced technology. It would have to be so good because on Earth there's things at a microscopic like viruses and bacteria. Yeah, if you're from another planet, you have to contend with those things.
Hey,
you know?
we might be microscopic to whatever's on another planet.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, you think they're going to be the same size as we are?
Well,
if they're another being?
But then the gravity is going to start to affect. You know, when things are bigger, things like an ant, the body that an ant has, if it was the size of us, wouldn't work. Their legs would not be able to hold them up. But since it's so tiny, it can lift like 10 times its weight, I believe.
Something like that.
So when you take things, it would be more likely to me that if they're traveling through space, they're tiny because it's cheaper and easier and more efficient. They'd be.
So you think they're a little smaller than us, maybe, but smarter?
Oh, I think they would be much smaller.
Oh, you think they might be a little like this?
Like 2 or 3 feet, full grown. It's so much easier to travel through space when you're smaller, and it's so much more efficient for feeding yourself, keeping you alive.
I don't know. There could be Bigfoot. Could be the Anunnaki because we've never freaking found one. We've seen him. A lot of people have seen him, but nobody's found one. So he's just going off into that other dimension.
Plus, when you're in space so long, if you don't have the right, artificial gravities, you're gonna lose your muscle tone. You're gonna lose everything.
Right. So
your blood.
That's like saying, because we live here and we want to travel through space, we have to be smaller.
Yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah. Like any type of very deep space. I'm not talking about Mars. I'm talking about to another solar
you think
system.
like
They're going to be by that time we'll be genetically changing people's DNA
you
and
think
making.
Captain Kirk and Spock were little guys?
Oh no, that's fake. I think someone wrote that.
No, that shit was real, man. It was
So I think they'll be breeding smart. They would have the same purport. It wouldn't be like little people or midgets, if you
then
will.
okay. So remember my theory about sun eating or what I was looking up. I didn't have a theory on it, but I was like looking into it. What if this is what I'm trying to imagine is like if all like kind of like all life, like how can a plant it photosynthesizes for energy or to grow or whatever, you know, absorbs the sunlight through that. So that's kind of like what the people would be doing. But what if it evolved to the point to where your skin turns more like transparent at certain times to absorb that?
What I think you would have a better bet is not evolving into that. You could change your DNA into that. And plants don't eat the sun. They use the sun's energy.
It. Exactly. They use the energy. You're saying it right there. Go ahead.
They use the energy to produce sugar, and that's what they eat.
Well, where's the sugar come from?
That pulls things in through the dirt, and it uses those minerals and that
right.
water.
So we would have to have something besides just the sunlight.
I think
to
you could
get
put
energy.
You could put the chloroform and get that type of system set up in people. Maybe not with the technology we have right now, but 100 years from now, I think we're that close. 100 years, I think we're very close to figuring out DNA, and there's going to be.
Well, they need to find the God particles. They thought they found it in the.
That don't have anything to do with DNA.
Yeah, that's like the God particle is the particle
pretty
that
sure they
everything
did find
in the universe is made of. It's in everything.
I'm not sure exactly about that. I know they did find something in the atom splitter or
they thought,
smasher.
and it wasn't it.
Are you sure?
Because
I hear what they're looking for.
Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
The
Higgs boson. Yeah. I hear what they're looking, because they are restarting it up, and I hear what they're looking for now is dark energy. We found dark matter. No, we found dark matter. That's proven. Dark matter bends light and it produces gravity. But this is interesting. They just found out recently. Project Badass. Sugar good for plants, bad for New Yorkers. Shit. What was I saying? It was probably really good. Shit.
I don't know. That's why you don't. Yeah, go ahead.
They just found out
the matter
that dark matter does not interact with anything. It goes straight through everything, even itself. It has no reaction with itself. So that's a huge.
So
thing.
that means it can go through you like another or interdimensional or something.
Yeah, you can get into all that, but what we know right now is it doesn't interact with itself or anything else. You know, it just goes right through you like some weird ghost fog, like a spirit.
Would you even feel it?
Yeah, you don't
dark
even
matter,
feel
the
it.
dark spirits.
Yeah. So what they're looking for now is
Dark
the
souls.
dark energy, because they've never.
Is that the devil?
I don't know. They've never found it. You know what I mean? They can theorize that it's there because the dark matter's there, but they have not found the dark energy yet. They have no proof of dark energy, but they have, excuse me.
Jeez.
Scientifically found the dark matter, and they're setting up stations right now on Earth to hopefully catch the energy, the dark energy, as it goes through Earth.
As it goes through, right through Earth.
It passes through it.
So they created a black hole or something in that collider or something like microscopically.
Gosh, I hope not.
I
don't
think
even
that was in an article about what you're talking about.
I don't even want to mess with a microscopic dark hole. I don't even
because you don't know if is it gonna grow and just suck us.
Yeah,
in?
it's gonna start.
We don't know if
people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's magic. All you do is you put it up here and it sucks it." You know what I mean?
But here's the fact is we don't know what happens when you go to a black hole. It can be
theoretically this is
a
what
wormhole
happens.
to another
crunch.
I don't believe that.
What would happen if you went
You'd
somewhere
be shredded apart.
Listen.
Not crunched.
Well, and
You might be crunched.
Hold on.
There's a lot of
you will be stretched at first, but once it hits the singularity, that's whenever you'll be crunched. Because listen, what would happen if you were standing on a planet with 100 times Earth's gravity? What would happen to you?
Yeah, girl, you'd be laying on the ground.
Yeah, you'd be dead
Like,
and squished
hey.
up on the ground, flat as a pancake. That's what a black hole is. It's something that has such massive gravity that light doesn't even get out of it. You know what I mean? Light.
It was pretty serious.
It
Hard to
sucks
fathom.
in light. That's
How about
gravity.
the ones that compare the mass to our sun and how many millions
The
of
suns,
times
yeah,
of our
I know,
sun?
it's
Like,
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah, it is.
It's mind blowing. Now we're gonna be. What's the show that just came? Interstellar.
Yeah, that one. It's some pretty interesting thoughts.
Oh, it's a very interesting show, except for I went in at a certain time and everything. Like the first 15 minutes of
well,
the
that's
show,
where
I
you
was
fucked
like,
up.
I was like, what?
That's where you fucked
I
up,
don't.
Deke.
Could you start it over? Because I'm lost right now. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
And what is Matt Damon doing? Why is he a pussy in this movie? You know what I mean? How can the guy who played in the Jason Bourne movies be a total pussy in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
anyway, man, let's wrap it up. I'm tired.
All right, it was a shitty start on our
Shitty
thing, but-
start today, but
Good
I
talk,
think I had a. You feel better now than you did at the beginning? 'Cause you were
Yes, it's
super
fine. I gotta
stressed out,
relieve, and
man.
I gotta just not think about shit.
Gosh, man.
This is my.
I thought you were
meditation.
gonna flip your wig and just like throw this game. I thought you were gonna throw it like a bad Monopoly game or something. Just like, fuck it, I quit.
Fuck the Blue Wall Podcast.
Done.
Fuck Chubbs. And fuck this place. It's over. It was that close, and then somehow, what I always feel like is like my electronics sense that rage from me, and they're like, okay, I was just playing,
Yeah, I
man.
better work now.
Right.
Maybe next week we can talk about this theory. I've heard people say that you can, like, your electronics will get to know you and actually establish like a mind, like the energy in your body, the electricity in your body will actually go into things.
I have that theory with my car.
I
With
think
vehicles.
you've told
With
me this
vehicles.
before.
So we could go into that.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, Blue Wallers. Wait.
Next
this
week
was
I won't be
episode-
here, so I mean.
Okay, so we might not have an episode.
Oh,
next
it's
week,
Easter, man.
but we might. It's night
Late.
though.
I know,
Easter's
that's
in the
true.
day.
That's true.
All right. Until next time. This was episode 67. We love you all, Blue Wallers and Blue Ballers.
My mustache is looking good, man.
Oh yeah.